Hey guys, this is James from Isotropic, and this video is going to walk you through step by step how to install ChatWoot on a Vulture cloud compute instance. ChatWoot is an open source live chat tool bringing you enterprise levels for free. It has around 10,000 stars on GitHubs and features like reports, automatic agent assignment, chatbots, shared inboxes, and more. It's a live chat tool that really rivals things like Intercom and live chat, as well as all those other highly featured but also expensive live chat tools. This is open source, it's free. All you need to do is pay for the Vulture Vps cloud compute instance. So this video is going to show you how to install ChatWoot on a Vulture VPS instance that's running Ubuntu 20.04 with the long-term support. You can use this guide for other things. If you're going to host it on another company, say DigitalOcean, if you're going to use a different version of Ubuntu, it may work. If you're going to use a different version of Linux, it may work. But this guide is specifically for a Vulture VPS running Ubuntu 20.04. And with Vulture, it's very easy to spin up a cloud compute instance for this. If you use the link in the description of this video, you can get around $25 in free Vulture credit. Just test this out. Vulture differs from other companies like DigitalOcean in that it offers really high performance tools and cloud compute instances and servers and bare metal setups and stuff like that at a very low cost. So these actually start at $2.50 a month, and you can install and use and configure and integrate ChatWoot on something that costs $2.50 a month, and then you can scale the resources that your server has as the ChatWoot live chat begins to be used by you and your customers. So it's a great way to be very cost effective. You get essentially the features that Intercom brings in terms of live chat for $2.50 in hosting costs per month, as opposed to paying the $79 per month or however much Intercom costs. So let's talk about the prerequisites that ChatWoot has to offer and the prerequisites that we actually use. So to install ChatWoot, you're going to need root access to a Vulture VPS. It needs to be running Ubuntu 20.04. I'm going to show you how to set that up in a few minutes. And currently, ChatWoot officially only supports 20.04 LTS, and that's why we're using it. But there are additional Unix environments that you could likely install this open source live chat on, and I don't really see any issue in using other, at least versions of Ubuntu, but even versions of Linux. According to ChatWoot, you should have at minimum a 4-core CPU, 4 gigs of RAM, and 5 to 10 gigabytes of storage. And this setup will support around 10,000 conversions a day. As I mentioned in the beginning of this introduction, we use the $2.50 per month Vulture high performance cloud compute server, and it works very well. Of course, once we put load on the live chat, you'll have to scale it up to something like ChatWoot is suggesting here. But for just configuring things, you can go $2.50 a month, $5 a month. And again, that's just a lot more cost effective than some other solution out there. So let's get into how to configure and install ChatWoot on the Vulture VPS. The first thing to do is to actually create the Vulture VPS, and to do that, you're going to need to create an account on Vulture. If you create it using the link in the description below, you will get $25 in free credit. We will also get credit from that, and you can use it to test out this live chat for free for several months. And if you like it, you can scale your server and begin to actually use it as you would any other live chat software out there. Something else to note is that ChatWoot is open source, but they also offer plans, paid plans. So if you're looking for something that doesn't require this type of setup, just go to their website. You can check them out and get that there. Once you're in the Vulture dashboard, once you've signed up, once your account is funded, go click that blue button, the blue plus button in the upper right hand corner, and then deploy a new server. We're going to choose cloud compute. The location for me is going to be New York because that's where I am. We're going to then select the 64-bit OS Ubuntu 20.04 x64. And then we're going to go with the $3.50 a month plan for now, and then we can scale as need be. I'm not going with the 250 because it's IPv6 only, so it makes it difficult to integrate just following the directions of our tutorial. So we're going to go with the $3.50 a month plan, and then we're going to just keep all of this additional features unchecked, but if you're going production, you will at least want block storage compatible as well as the auto backups. For this situation, we don't really need that. I'm going to click deploy, and this is going to deploy a version of Ubuntu 20.04, which is the version that we need, onto a very underpowered, I would say, underpowered cloud compute instance for a production environment. However, just to test out ChatWoot, you could go with this and then scale as need be. Once your server is up and running, you're going to connect via SSH to the Vulture VPS and run these commands. The first command is going to get the installation and configuration script that is the default and official configuration script offered by ChatWoot, and then it's going to give us the permissions, and finally it's going to execute that script that we've pulled from the ChatWoot GitHub. This is going to install everything that we possibly need to get the configuration of ChatWoot there, the installation of ChatWoot there, and then it's going to run you through a few specific steps to set up your domain name, your SSL, and everything else. So essentially, you run these commands, you wait for around 10 to 20 minutes as it installs and configures all the dependencies, and then ChatWoot. And then once all of that's there, you'll be prompted by the SSH terminal to configure your domain, and then you're good to go. So to configure your domain, all you need to do is take the domain. We like creating a subdomain, so chat.isotropic.co, for example. We'll take this, create an A record for that subdomain, and then point it to the IP address of the Vulture VPS. You can get that IP address as you got it to log into the SSH from the dashboard. And then we just point it to the VPS and then go to the SSH session. When prompted with, would you like to configure the web server in SSL, type yes in lowercase, and then follow all the prompts. It's going to say enter your domain name. It's going to say configure your SSL certificate. To do that, you'll need to accept a few policies and give an email, and then it's all set up and good to go. Then you update the environment variables for ChatWoot. This is really important, and I'm going to defer to the actual documentation on ChatWoot for this. But for production, you will need to set up a email provider. So we use Mailgun, which is great for developers. Very easy to get all the information that you need to configure the email. We need to confirm the front-end domain, and if you want, you can configure offsite storage by using like an Amazon S3 bucket or something like that. With that, once the environment variables are set up, you're good to go and use ChatWoot as you would any other live chat tool. If you don't update the environment variables, things will be broken. Your email confirmations will not end up in an email inbox, and you just won't be able to use it. So be sure to go to the ChatWoot documentation on how to configure the environment variables, and do that as soon as you finish the installation on SSH. That will be linked in the description below. It's also linked in the associated article with this video. Once all of this is done, once your environment variables are set up, you can access ChatWoot from the domain name that you've pointed to it, or you can access ChatWoot if you haven't pointed the domain to it via the IP address of your Vulture VPS server, and I think it's port 3000. You'll get onto a howdy welcome to ChatWoot screen where you will just then enter your admin account information such as a name, company name, email, password, and all that. And then you will have access to the complete backend of ChatWoot where you can create additional accounts for maybe clients. You can set up integrations with Facebook, Slack, all that fun stuff, and you'll be good to go. So hopefully this video was helpful when it comes to installing ChatWoot, which is an open source free live chat tool that's relatively simple to install. You don't really need to be a developer to do this. It kind of walks you right through it. To recap what we just did, all you need to do is create a Vulture VPS server, Ubuntu version 20.04. We're going with the $3.50 plan, but you can go and scale it up as you need to. You will need more hardware as more people begin to use your live chat tool. If you get a lot of people on a website using live chat, if you have several accounts associated under that specific server, you're going to need more resources. But you can start off with the $3.50 per month plan. You can use the link in the description to get $25 in free credit to try this out. And then all you need to do is go ahead and follow the SSH instructions, connect via SSH, pull in that ChatWoot configuration script, run it, and you're good to go. Hopefully this was a helpful video. Be sure to check out the links in the description. And if you like this video, feel free to like and subscribe. If you have any questions, comment here, comment on the associated article, and I hope you have a great day.